Hi fish friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Mermaid Siryna. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to keep updated on all the mermaid content that I put out. Share this video with your friends and family. You know the spiel. So today we're going to be talking about silicone versus fabric tails. There are pros and cons to both. I don't have a preference. I do want to add before we continue that this is my personal thoughts and opinions based on my own experiences. I have swam in both silicone and fabric tail, so this is just based off of what I know. If your opinion is different, that's perfectly fine. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, so leave it as a comment, but please be respectful of each other. That's all I really ask for as a content creator. So with fabric tails are usually what I use if I'm going to a meetup where we aren't going to be having a lot of swim time. The reason why I say that is because it takes me less than a minute to get in and out of my tail, and if we're not going to have a lot of time in the water, I don't want to spend half of that time trying to stuff my body into a silicone and then have maybe like 10 minutes to swim and then like unstuff my body for my silicone. So a pro for fabric, I guess, would be that it's easy to get in and out of. The second pro that I want to mention with fabric tails is that it's fairly accessible. Fabric tails will range you about, just the tail and the monofin will range you about $80 to like, you know, $300 and $400 max. Silicone tails range from $1,200 to $15,000. Silicone tails can get very expensive, and that's just the tail itself. Maintenance of the tail can also be pretty expensive too. Fabric tail, another pro is that fabric tails are really easy to maintain. All you really have to do after every swim is to rinse it off with fresh water. I will do a more detailed video on how I maintain my fabric tails, how I store them, how I dry them, and all that in a later video. So once again, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss that video. Another pro to fabric tails is that it's really lightweight. So you can basically take it anywhere. You don't have to worry about it getting damaged at the airport, getting lost in transit. You can fold it up easy. It'll fit in your luggage no problem because it's fabric. So it's basically like a second swimsuit. So it's very transportable. If you're going internationally, I definitely would suggest carrying fabric with you if you want to swim in the ocean or something with a mermaid tail and do like a nice ocean photo shoot. Of course, if you really wanted to look like realistic looking mermaid, I would say take your chance with a silicone. Oops, oh sorry Marlin. Let's put you back up there. I do have a video on my channel on how to pack a silicone tail for the airport. Not sure if it applies to every tail because not all silicone tails are made the same or even with the same monofin. So my method only works with Mer-nation and maybe Mer-tailor. A pro to silicone tails would be that it's very realistic. It passes the touch test. And what the touch test is that when little kids come up to you, they want to touch your tail because they're fascinated by the mermaid. When they touch fabric, younger kids, you know, the older kids will notice the fabric more than the younger ones. The younger ones will be fascinated no matter what. I mean, they have a mermaid right there, right? But the older kids will want to touch the tail, and they will notice when the scales don't raise. With a silicone tail, obviously, it passes the touch test, like I've said. So when they touch it, it feels like real scales. Another pro with silicone tails is that it's definitely more powerful. With a good monofin, you can get a fabric tail that is really powerful in the water, but the silicone combined with whatever monofin you have inside, especially if it's a competitor monofin, it's powerful. It'll propel you. You can use your silicone tail in the ocean, no problem. the power does make up for the fact that the silicone is also very draggy. They are thick, they're a lot thicker than fabric, and they're also heavy. They're about 25 pounds at the lightest, all the way up to 60 to 70 pounds. So silicone tails can get pretty heavy. Sometimes it's a good thing because it helps you sink, and I'm a floater, and I like the heaviness of the tail. But that's just personal preference. Another pro with silicone tail is that it's very durable. Fabric tails have a tendency to pill and rip over time. Of course, with enough wear and use, silicone tails can get pretty grody, especially if you don't maintain it very well. For the most part, the paint jobs are easy to repair if it's not like huge damage. If it's little chips here and there, Silpoxy and some eyeshadow will fix it right up. And you can go to like Ulta or Sephora to shadow match. My mermaid friend, Mermaid Kaylee, or Mermaid Callista from the Mer-friends, I'll link their channel down below too. They're another group of professional mermaid performers here in Texas. My friend Mermaid Callista fixed up her Mer-Nation silicone tail with some silicone and eyeshadow, and she just mixed it up. And it looks good as new, like you can't even tell there was damage there in the first place. It takes quite a bit to really beat up a tail, and that's only if you really don't take care of it. Silicone tails are pretty sturdy. Fabric tails, however, if you try to take pictures on rocks, or if you scrape it enough times against the bottom of the pool or the side of the pool, it's gonna rip, it's gonna tear. That's the nature of the fabric. If you have thicker quality fabric like scuba knit fabric, like the mermaid ink tail skins, or if you have neoprene like the Finfolk, fabric tails, then those are a little bit more durable, but they're still going to pill and wear and tear over time if you don't take care of it. Another thing I'd like to mention is more of a con for fabric and a pro for silicone is the fact that in my silicone tail, I don't bone as much. Boning is when your legs kind of show through the tail, and that's a huge problem for fabric tails because the fabric, when it's wet, will try to stick to your skin. So when you have legs, obviously there's like a little space in between each leg, and the fabric will kind of dip down into it, and you look like a very bony fish. With silicone tails, you don't really have that problem. When it does the suction cup thing towards your ankles, it does have a little bit of a boning, I noticed, but it goes away after a little bit once your tail fills up with water and you're swimming around in it. So that is it for the pros and the compare and contrast of fabric versus silicone. Do I have a preference? No, I actually don't prefer one tail over the other. It depends on what I'm using it for. For work, I am a professional mermaid entertainer, and so if I have a gig or for marketing or any business related stuff, I will use my silicone. But for just fun meetups with friends, I can use either or. It depends on who's going to be there, how long we're going to be at the meetup for, and how far it's going to be. And if there's any, free marketing involved, which is basically if we do like a photo shoot. The reason why I'm a little more hesitant to use my silicone tail outside of work-related functions is because the maintenance of it is so tedious. Do I think that you need to have a silicone tail to work as a professional mermaid? No, I don't. There are plenty of mermaids out there that do beautiful work in only fabric tails, and they look amazing and real and beautiful. And as for mermaid enthusiasts, you don't need to have a silicone. It's cool to have one. You can be an enthusiast and have a silicone tail, just like you can be a professional and have a fabric tail. I don't think there's a requirement to have anything to be a mermaid. You're a mermaid if you are a mermaid at heart, if you truly believe in the community and that you advocate for environmental awareness, you advocate for the love of sea creatures and bringing happiness to other people, then I think that you are definitely 110% a mermaid. You don't have to have a tail to be a mermaid. You don't have to have a monofin to be a mermaid. You don't have to have a silicone tail to be a professional mermaid. And you don't have to only stick to fabric tail if you're an enthusiast. I subscribe to the school of thought that you should do whatever makes you happy. As long as you're being safe and you're not hurting anybody or yourself, then you do you, you know? But thanks for watching my video. Once again, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, or give me a comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and stuff. I will see you later. Bye!